Welcome to Laughter and Enlightenment with Sharon Gambrill here at Radio Northern Beaches 88.7 or 90.3 FM, or you can live stream through the website at rnb.org.au or through the app TuneIn Radio. Welcome to the show this week. It's very exciting. I'm on location at the Narrabeen fire station, and I have with me Murray, the station officer, and Rescue Firefighters Brad, Sean and Graeme. Welcome to the show, fellas.
Hi, Sharon.
Thank you very much for your time. I'm thrilled to be here and thrilled that you've made the time and you don't have to duck out on an emergency right now.
Thank you.
Yes, well, it's lovely to be here. So for anyone that ever wanted to be a firefighter, anyone who's listening who's a teenager or one of those little boys, because I know little boys often wanted to grow up to be firefighters or astronauts. So I'm here with four of the best you can ever meet in Sydney. How do you become a firefighter, Murray? I know it's changed in recent years, hasn't it?
They generally advertise, so online or in the newspapers or all media, they'll put out an advertisement. But a lot of people know through other fireys that are friends. They'll let them know. Like we sort of get a heads up that they're going to recruit.
Yeah.
So.
Is that at any particular time of the year, Murray, or is it any time?
Not really.
No, you just got to keep checking the website, don't you?
Yeah, but I think they've
got one coming up.
If they go onto the Fire and Rescue New South Wales website, it has all the recruiting information on that website.
Right.
Yeah. And how the process works and all the information of
they're pretty good with that.
Psychometric tests and things.
Yeah, because I imagine you have to have quite a lot of stringent testing to make sure not just you're physically fit, but mentally able to cope with the stresses of the job.
There's a fair bit of luck involved too, we all know stories of plenty of people that have applied, and not got
numerous times.
Yeah.
That would be great firefighters.
Yeah.
Would be great firefighters.
Yeah.
Highly sought after.
Yeah. And they're not getting in.
They're not getting in. Is that because of some little tiny thing
I think
that's
it's
not
just,
quite...
It's just so many apply. And
okay. It's still a popular job?
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It's not, I honestly don't classify it as a job. For me, it's not... I've never had a day where I haven't wanted to come to work.
That's wonderful, isn't it? That's the goal. Should be the goal for everyone.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Unreal. Like, as far as work, loving coming to work, there's nothing beats it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You're not going to die of a heart attack at 2 a.m. on a Monday morning, Murray, because that's the highest heart attack time apparently.
Yeah.
And they've pinpointed it that people who have dissatisfaction with their job around the world, that's the time that they just go, Sunday night.
Again.
Not again.
Yeah.
The whole
we wake
week
up Tuesday, it's a good day.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's a good goal.
You often see people, especially here, they're going off to work, sitting in traffic, having to do it every day. It's so much of your life work. If you can have a job that's, fulfilling and make, it's happy.
And you make a difference too.
Totally,
You can actually save someone's life, can't you?
Yeah, we help out a lot of people, not so much life-saving, but just helping people out, just getting them out of the bind sometimes, Yeah, I do a lot of that for the community.
Yeah, so you're not always called out for a fire? Is that right?
No. Basically, we've got a massive red toolbox down there, and those trucks are just full of incredible tools.
Yeah.
From hydraulics to air to just ropes and all kinds of magical things really happen with using those tools out of that toolbox. So, it's an amazing. That's probably part of the joy about coming to work. You've got a great bit of kit you're about to be able to use in any way that exposes yourself to something.
Kids that help people out in the worst possible time, they're probably the worst day they're having, that we can sort of make things a bit easier for them.
So is it still 000 for anyone that doesn't know who's
Correct,
listening? In Australia, it's 000.
One thing that we should probably emphasise is that we get a lot of people that call the station direct, and it's sort of... if they call us, then we've got to take the details, and then we've got to ring... We basically have to ring 000. If they ring 000 straight away, it just...
alleviates the middleman.
Yeah, it takes that time out of it where they can just get those details to our communications straight away. Often we're not always here, and they might be some emergency and they're ringing the station and they're getting our answering machine. If they just always ring 000, and the information that they get from 000 will then be sent on to us, and if they need to put more resources onto it and things like that gets taken into consideration,
That's right.
Yeah, so triple O all the time, triple O, just triple O. And our triple O's, our communication section is manned by actual firefighters.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Yeah, it's not like ambulance and police are actually civilian operators.
Yeah.
So our comm centre are actually operators that will have a first-hand knowledge of what's going on and what may be needed to be
preemptive.
resourced.
So it's not outsourced to India.
The other interesting thing with that is sometimes people think that we are the local fire station when they do call, and often Motorvale down the road will actually be their first responder for them. So it's really important to just let Triple O and the comm centre do their job, because I'll actually dispatch. They can be on the road and could be 5 minutes ahead of us to get there. So
all our trucks are tracked, so they know where we are and they can send the closest possible.
So that's probably really important with the comm centre.
Very much so.
Yeah, so that's an extremely important tip, everyone listening. Always dial 000. And now we've got all the resources of the global devices where you can see where everyone is. All these wonderful technologies.
Tracked, and most of the police cars are. I'm not sure the ambulance service have come on to that yet.
We can see that in our trucks now. We've got we've got an MDT in the truck, which is like a big iPad, and we're turning out. We can see how far behind everyone is. Where if we go into a job and we can see how far behind another truck is to back us up, things like that. It's really good. Like technology, even since we've been in the job, has gone. With even things like our protective gear, thermal imaging cameras, the technology's moved so greatly, for our benefits, for tools that we operate with,
to communications and fire,
helmets,
helmets now we can talk back to boss. So we go into a fire and there's normally in pairs. We'll go into a fire and we'll let Murray know that's out the front, being a safety officer and in charge of the incident. What we're seeing, and we're able to do that through these communications.
That's wonderful, isn't it?
Now,
You wonder how they managed 100 years ago.
They didn't. To be honest,
they didn't that long ago. It was like the 80s and things that they changed from.
The old orange Bendex King handheld they had. That's all they had. 90% of the time.
That's what I was thinking.
You had the old smoke chewers that would come out with the big black lines under their nose, and they'd come in and the old SO would go, "It's in the kitchen out there," and you've got your caver on, walking past and going.
Yeah.
And before cars as well, it was just a horse and cart, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's photos here of there was a horse and cart crew here at this station. There's a photo out on the wall there.
So this station's been open as a station for a long time?
1931.
Oh, right. That is because it's quite a historical building.
Yeah, quite iconic, yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, the Narrabeen Fire Station is on Pittwater Road at Narrabeen. Right at the beach, lovely location.
It's actually number 9 for some
reason.
reason.
9 Ocean.
Oh, it's Ocean Street.
It's listed as Ocean Street.
Okay. Yeah, but you're sort of facing onto the main road too.
Yeah. Shouldn't miss us.
No,
really large.
No, and it's a historical building, and it also has a wonderful notice board on the front.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that notice board over the years, and particularly over the last year, I've posted on my Instagram. No, nothing cheeky.
Nothing cheeky.
There was one that said "Be
like
happy."
A bit of humour.
Yeah, and there was one at Christmas that said "Merry Christmas, just breathe."
Yeah.
So I posted both of those on my Instagram. Got a lot of likes actually.
Yeah.
I parked the car and I'll do that again today as I leave the fire station. I don't know what's happening
the gaze open when everyone's at the lights across the road. They sort of look over and probably looking and reading the board.
Yeah.
See what's up there.
Yeah. That's it. It's a nice community service. Just lifts your spirits a bit. Yeah. If you're stuck in traffic, well, you've got nothing else to read.
Bit of a message.
Yeah, and I know in the olden days you used to be able to be more free with what you wrote.
Yeah, there was a lot of jovialness back then. Yeah.
There's still, I think Newtown sort of have a pretty good. You check out their Instagram page or Facebook page, they get some pretty good signs,
messages.
They're spending far too much time.
Yeah.
We've been cut down a little bit.
Yeah, we've been
with our messages
held back. We've got to listen now. We've got to go off and. Anything outside that you've got to get permission.
We found it funny, but you might be offending someone. Or
That's it. It's tricky in this day and age, isn't it?
It is.
Sometimes you don't know what to say.
With the simplest emergency message that we left on there, one day it went berserk with Channel 9 and the rest of it, and we were giving the wrong information, which it wasn't. But it's just it was read by certain people.
How it's interpreted.
It is, and everyone interprets things differently.
Yeah.
So.
That's right. Yeah.
A lot of the time we get it'll be something will come from the media section, and it'll be some sort of
this week or this month.
Yeah, this is
it's a fire safety message.
Or smoke alarms.
Check your batteries,
yes,
that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I have noticed that. There was one about texting, keep your hands off your phone.
Oh,
yeah.
Texting.
I'm sure people still do that.
The majority of the accidents are like that because people are paying attention to where they're going.
Yeah. I know. It's a message that still hasn't quite gotten across.
No.
And coming up, do you have any open days at the fire station here at Narrabeen?
That's just been gone.
We've had it this year, but we have one every year.
One every year?
Yeah. Every year.
Yeah, and that's like a family day. Anyone can pop in?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. And you have a sausage sizzle and have talks on fire safety.
Demonstration of cutting up cars.
What we do and in the backyard, we sort of run something for a couple of hours. Between 10 and 2, so we get thousands come through here on an open day.
So keep your eye out for most local stations, would they do that?
Yeah, most local stations.
If it's summer out of the way, say I think Motorvale sometimes might run one at their station and come down and join the local one, say here or Newport. But most stations will do it. We're still on call, so sometimes there's some open days you'll actually be there with everyone, and all of a sudden you'll get a call. And then we've just got to...
Last one here.
Yeah, I was off that day, but they all said they've got to call out to pack up, lock it up, and just leave everyone here and go.
But basically they didn't get back. I think they had a really good job.
It was out for a long time. So, and that's sort of... It is a bit of a downer for the children that come and want to see the fire trucks, but we're still on response.
We're open to
but they get to see
they can come any day of the week.
Anyone can rock up.
Yeah. Do you ever have school groups coming in?
We go to them.
Yeah.
We go to them. We do kindies, we do fire safety programs and education for the kids.
Oh, that's
It's a lot easier getting the 5 or the 6 of us to a school opposed to getting a bus and getting the 20 or 30 or 40 kids down to the fire station.
And they might touch the wrong thing.
The roads and the rest of it. We just leave them in their situation.
Logistically,
we'll go up there.
Scouts or Girl Guides will come down. Sort of groups like that. We've had the Mountain Seagulls guys, the younger guys come through too, you know, when they were sort of looking at some different... So you get the odd groups here and there, but like Murray says, you know, every station's open to a kid to visit. You know, we're paid by everyone in our, you know, insurance policies and taxpayers. So everyone here owns all this. It's just
we get a lot of traffic come past, and we'll be out, especially change of shift, doing stuff out on the truck in the morning, and you'll get the kids getting wheeled past in the prams, and we just get them in here and let them climb all over the truck.
Oh, that'd be thrilling.
I love it.
Thrilling for a child.
Same if we go out in the morning, we'll go out for a drive, you know, and we pull up anywhere, and it's the magnet for kids, you know. Do
you service your own vehicles, or do they the fire trucks? Do they have to go?
We've got a fleet section that does all that.
We did till we broke them.
No,
but you know your basic repairs, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we do minor stuff that we can do, but checking tyre pressures and stuff.
Yeah, we service
the fleet does it.
Yeah,
all of the gear on the truck, so all of our tools and our safety gear, like our breathing apparatus and everything else that's ours that we operate with, is that we look after. So we service it daily, and whenever we use it, and then if it's something. But we also have a section at Greenacre that if something goes wrong with it, we send it out there and it gets repaired or replaced. Yeah,
because you need to have a daily maintenance check, I imagine, every time.
Yeah. We have one of those,
We've got
very important. We've got like a rostered system of
just rotates their gear that we use, and it just spreads it out over a month. It's called the SIMS check. So.
But our life safety stuff gets checked every day.
Yeah.
So our breathing apparatus and our gear and everything that we use personally, we check that every day.
And prior to going into the incident as well, we'll check in the morning. As we're heading into the incident, we'll pre-op it again. We'll buddy check. So we're constantly ticking boxes, making sure we've got our systems in place ready to go.
It's tremendous. Yeah. Because going back to those early firefighters, they probably didn't have so many checks going on and understand that.
They didn't have any systems.
No. There was nothing in place.
There wasn't an OH&S and a structure system in place. It was just get it done however you got it done. Whereas now we have protocols and systems and things in place to make sure that we're looking after ourselves, each other, the people around us. So it's a much better way of
I think it was operating. The Proto, first system they brought out, which is a rebreather. They only had one per truck.
Yeah.
So whoever grabbed that first was the lucky one, and the rest all had to chew the smoke.
Oh, gee.
So we're still prone, you know, even with all the gear we have, we're still exposed to quite toxic and harmful, contaminants from fire. We still have that issue where we're still exposed to a lot of harmful products of fire.
Chemicals and gases that are off from the fire itself.
Yeah. I just interviewed a friend of mine called Sean Woodland, who's a comedian and a writer, and he's just done a tour of Afghanistan, entertaining the troops, and he said that it just smells, it just reeks.
Yeah.
There's no trees, the whole place has just been gutted and burnt, and they just often are deployed there, the fellas and the women of the troops, for 6 months or more, and they're just breathing that in every day.
Yeah, it can't be good.
Yeah, no, it can't be good in the long run. But he noticed it for only a week.
Yeah.
So I think it's very, very important for everyone's lungs and general health.
Long term.
Ours through breathing-wise isn't that bad because we do have the cavers breathing, but it's not only just through inhalation, it's absorption. So through all your major glands, it actually still absorb into your body. Yeah. So that's hence why we've, I think we just got to pass the bill for the...
I don't think it's passed.
It's passed for the workers' comp for New South Wales.
Yeah, I'm not sure, mate. I think they've put it
on the news the other day saying
I think they've put it up. If you check
But New South Wales and the MFB are the only two that aren't covered in the states for it, out of their states and territories. The rest are covered, but we're not. They haven't acknowledged it yet.
There's a lot of neck cancers and throat cancers happening
brain
in
cancers
around the world.
Yeah,
right.
So they're real concerned over that now, obviously, because it's starting to show a bit of a pattern.
Yeah,
so,
it's a particular issue for this job, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it needs to be addressed.
Like something like this burning with some phones and plastics and all
polycarbonates we've got these days.
Smokes and tox.
Which are pretty well guaranteed to be carcinogenic.
Yeah.
So even though we might not be breathing in because we have a caver on, we're still absorbing it in the skin and it's still getting into the bloodstreams. So
you need to keep very healthy, don't you? You need to keep your immune system as strong as possible, I guess.
Well, yeah.
I mean, to combat any of those pollutants that may come in. I know you can't completely...
You can only do so much.
You can only do so much, but...
it's not as if we can go into a fire with a fully encapsulated suit, because it's just not possible.
No,
So we still are susceptible.
Because you need to be mobile too, don't you?
You need to maintain...
You use your hands and your arms.
You need to maintain a level of mobility just because you don't want to go down in the job, No. And you want to be able to... still participate and function, you do have to maintain a level, but a lot of us still, I'm 50, we're still quite, we still hold
You're young, you're a spring chicken. You'll be working for many years.
Yeah, I'll wait till I get the tap on the shoulder.
Do they retire you at a certain age?
Well, in the States they do, not over here.
No.
Well, States is 20 or 30 years?
Yeah, I think 20 years in or something.
They get a pension after.
Here
really?
Here it's sort of people start to go at 60, but they were on a different scheme to us. They're on a better pension system.
Yeah.
So they get
far better
70-80% of their wage after 60
for the rest of it.
Okay.
Whereas the new scheme that we're along is, it's
tap on the back, thanks for your service, and there's your Casio
so
watch.
They'll try and get us out probably on a medical or a physical rather than saying...
Is that because you're not as strong and mobile as you used to be, or is it just...
As you get older, you start getting the workers' comp issues, and I think what's lost in the fire brigade now is, years ago it used to be a career. I don't think they want it to be a career anymore. They want to sort of get the people in at, say, the age of 25 to 30, have them out by 50.
Yeah.
20 years, that's it.
So you won't go into
admin or anything. So then at the age of 45 to 50 to 60 is where they start getting their larger workers' comp issues. People start hurting themselves because you're getting older and all the rest of it, and you're not warming up as much as you're out in the middle of the night, 2 a.m, you get a call straight up. You don't know what you could be doing, but when you get a call, you'll be running upstairs. Okay, fair enough, you might do a calf or something like that. Stepping in out of a truck.
Big truck.
Oh no, they are. Yeah.
So half the people wouldn't realise coming from a dead sort of recline to getting up, and your heartbeat hits 170 beats a minute, then you've got to slow down. You're driving to a job, you don't want to get too fast and go drive crazy, but you've got to get there. Then you've got to work, and your heart rate goes up again when you've got the caber on and you're working at a job. A lot of people don't look at that side of it.
No.
And they think, how many calls did you get last night? You say, 1 or 2. You say, you still would have got a couple of hours recline, and the rest of it. It's not a sleep pattern like you to get at home.
Yeah.
Far from it.
Yeah.
I still don't sleep well at the station, never have. So I still go home. And sort of, you're tired the next day.
Regular sleep is very important, isn't it?
Well, they've proven it's regular sleep. Shift workers are the most that suffer from sleep deprivation.
my sleep pattern's better since we started 24.
24's have helped a lot, yeah.
Yeah, since we started 24-hour shifts.
Okay.
I thought the 10-14 roster really was a negative impact on myself personally. As far as if you had a bad 10 hours on your first day, it just compounded over the rest of the 4 days. So you just generally were tired.
Trying to catch up.
Your days off, it wasn't until probably your third day off until you feel normal again.
You'd just be exhausted.
Yeah. So you get a bad...
Like a zombie-like state, sort of just
just
going through the process of working.
Second night used to be a killer.
And that's what all the sick leave was on that second night, because people were just wrecked, destroyed on that, couldn't go back.
So when did they change the rostering
2
system?
years ago.
Only recently.
Yeah,
it's only recent.
It took off. It just took off. They trialled it at Ryde and Parramatta.
Well, technically it's still a trial, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, we followed overseas, didn't we?
Yeah, but I think
states do 24. Some do 48 hours.
I think Leighton Drury designed it and they went with it.
Yeah.
But Northern Hemisphere have been doing 24s for years. But it just took off. Everyone took it. It just went. Yeah, how good is this?
And it's a home away from home.
That's what it should be.
We eat together and we sort of get to know each other, and it's good.
We all love coming to work.
Yeah. It's a great team building opportunity to have a nice place to actually stay in.
Yeah.
If you're here all those hours.
We're all pretty. I'm definitely grateful to be here. This is the best station I've ever worked at. By far.
Oh, well, we might celebrate that. That's a wonderful sentiment, that you love your job and you're all good mates and you've got each other's back.
Yeah, definitely.
Would one of you like to suggest a song we might put on to celebrate all the teamwork and what a great job you do and the fact you enjoy your work? Because that's a rarity often in this modern world we have. Think of a good song.
I like a cold chisel, I suppose.
Oh, we all like a good chisel song.
That's always a good one.
Which one?
4 Walls.
4 Walls. Yeah. So we're going to play 4 Walls to say thank you very much to the brave rescue firefighters at Narrabeen Fire Station. And Sean, would you like to introduce it?
All right, cold chisel, 4 Walls.
Now, going back to what we were talking about before the song, Murray, you rostered on for 4 days, was it? Or?
No, we do 24 hours on.
Yep.
Then we have 24 hours off.
Yep.
Then we have another 24-hour shift.
Yep.
Then we have 5 off. So 5 days off after our 2 24-hour shifts.
Okay.
So we work 48 hours in 3 days.
Yeah.
And then we have 5 off and come back and do it again. So today's our second 24 in our rotation.
Yeah.
And then we finish tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. And then we come back next Thursday.
Yeah.
And do Thursday, Saturday.
And do you all live locally? Were you all put into this fire station because you're local people, or do you get transferred?
Yeah.
Takes a while to get down in Narrabeen.
It's taken me 18 years to get back here.
Yeah.
8 years to get to Narrabeen.
Yeah.
It's a specialised station too because of the vertical rescues. We do all the road rescues around the peninsula.
Yeah.
And our area goes up to Barowra, all the way to Manly, and then out crosses over with...
The vertical goes back to the closest,
so.
which is... Burr would have it now, but they're not listed as it. But.
So our vertical rescue area is massive. So we've got 100-metre lines to get over North Ed, and we do lots of work at Cook's Terrace here with the paragliders and the hang gliders. They get a bit stuck on
there was one out there today.
Yeah. So they get a bit wrong sometimes, and paragliders into the trees here at Brown Fisherman's Beach. There's all that sort of vertical work that's needed. If we need sometimes crane operators might have a heart attack or something, we might have to sort of get them down out of their cranes. Or,
really?
So there's all possibilities that go on that our rope work sort of does. So we're being so specialised, it's hard to move someone on from here. They don't normally move people on. You sort of have to leave on your own accord. And
once you get the team together.
Yeah, and then to get in here is hard, I suppose. And to swim before work or swim after work. I know. It's pretty amazing.
It's a beautiful location.
So
you're not just fighting fires, are you?
No, not at all. No.
Do you have any unusual?
We had just had one before you turned up. We had it was a reported gas leak. but it was whether we don't know if it was a possum. There was probably a possum that had died in the roof of this lady's house. But the poor old lady she was 88 years old, and you know it was bad.
We've got a train nose that says it wasn't gas.
It was organic. It was organic. We didn't need the gas detector. So yeah, we just organised a contractor to come and remove the possum for her.
Was it in the roof or a wall cavity?
I think so, yeah.
But on a positive, while we were there, we obviously spoke to the lady and chatted about her situation living. She was close to 90 in a big house by herself, large property. But we ended up having a look around the property, making sure things were right, and ironically she didn't have a smoke detector.
Oh dear.
So while we were there, we actually fitted one, installed it, explained to her the use of that, and
because you had them on the truck.
You have them because that's a legal requirement for every property, isn't it? Really?
It's definitely for obviously new structures, rentals, all that sort of stuff. But a lot of the older people in the community that have just lived the way they've lived for however long have never had anyone come, never needed anyone, never adjusted anything. So she was found to have no smoke detector in her house. While we were there trying to resolve issue number one, we've obviously hopefully been preventative for something that might never happen down the track. Yeah. But at least she's in a position where she's got an initial indicator if there was any kind of smoke in the property.
Because there's not many times we go to a fire in a house that has a smoke detector blaring and going off. Most fires, nearly all the fires I've ever been to, there's no smoke detector. Because the battery's been pulled out, or they don't have a smoke detector. So a smoke detector will go off at that smoke stage, and then most people will then, attend to the fire, and then we'll be called, and we'll get going, and we'll get up there, and maybe end up putting a small fire out. But the smoke detector,
it's very important, isn't it?
Same roulette.
Yeah,
big time.
Well, seeing we've got them in our modern society, you may as well use them, and they're not expensive.
Yeah.
And they'll save your life, won't they?
And we do have a home fire safety, initiative that we will go around and look at the place, and especially with the elderly.
Yes.
And we will install smoke alarms and change batteries for elderly people. So there is. To get that out to the community that that they can actually ring the station, not 000, but ring the actual station and get the local fire brigade to come, or fire station to come around and check their house for fire.
So that's an excellent service to know that's available to anyone in the community.
Definitely.
You're doing very well to live on your own when you're 88.
Oh yeah.
I think we'd all like to be able to be in that position rather than assisted living or in a nursing home centre. So that's tremendous to be able to let her be at home, but in a more safer environment.
Their biggest fear would be it's chargeable. It's all free of charge. Supply the smoke alarm. These ones we supply now have a 10-year battery life.
10 year?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's tremendous.
So you don't have to replace it every year. It's just a built-in battery, and
that's very modern. Do you have any other stories you're allowed to talk about that you can recall that were like funny or unusual?
When I first got to the station here, I've been here probably about 12 months. We had a call. Actually, they'd done the old ring through to the local station at TY because we're a specialist rescue station. We had a young couple, probably in late 20s, early 30s, that presented themselves, and the wife had been out with her friends on a good night out, having a bit of fun with all of her girlfriends, which some maybe are single or married, and unfortunately she'd been mucking around and had taken her wedding ring off and put it on the other hand, and unfortunately her finger swelled up, and we had to actually cut her wedding band off her finger because it was restricting on the wrong finger, so it was a telltale for the husband, and we basically then had to send them back to the jeweller to get it redone. So that was quite interesting. She was she swore blue that it was all just a bit of fun.
We were very jovial with it too as well. We were sort of prompting him,
he was
niggling at her.
He was a good sport, but it was pretty. Everyone was quite quiet for a bit, and then a little bit more laughter came on as we went along. And that was pretty. That's probably a really good one for me. I think it was funny, and obviously you still got to do a little bit of
I think A Platoon had a job the other week where a newly divorced woman came to the station and
cut one off.
Had to have the ring cut off
because it was just stuck.
It's been there
that long. Yeah.
So what have you got? Little tiny things that you can.
We got ring kits and we put in protection under the ring and create a bit of space. And
you get kids with their fingers stuck in bath plugs,
plug waste.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Kids still do that, don't they?
Yeah.
That's a big one. I've had a kid with his head stuck in a chair, just got the spreaders and pulled the chair apart and got his head out.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because you can actually suffocate, can't you?
Oh, they just panic, eh? I've seen someone just pick the chair up and pull it around to the side and pull it straight off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do a multitude of tasks.
Heaps.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether there's a fire or not.
Yeah, well, like Wednesday we started the morning with a rescue job with an accident at Avalon and then wires down in Narrabeen and then we had a kitchen fire later that day, so it was
Where's the break in a car?
Someone got the keys in the car.
With a child in the car seat.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So because we're a rescue section, we often get called remotely outside of our station area to perform additional tasks.
Animal rescues. We had a horse the other day where they get up on its feet.
A horse?
Yeah, horse had fallen over and they had to get it up on its feet. Like, we do animal rescue. So our charter is domestic animals and humans, pretty much, and the Rescue Act covers.
So how did you get the horse up? Did you have
pretty much 4 of us got
brute.
Oh, you didn't have to get some sort of pulley?
We had to wait for the. We were waiting for the technical rescue from Blacktown that has a equine horse rescue facility, like a horse sling. And we just got 2 2-metre bars and some slings and manhandled it up.
Goodness me, it must be strong. Well, I guess with 4 of you, that's pretty good.
Well, there's one girl. Ruanne Sims was here.
Yeah.
She's pretty stronger than all of us. She had us all covered.
She's the Australian women's captain of the Australian Women's Rugby League team.
She now does that, presenting with 100% footy as well, with Paul, with Gus Goulden there.
Yeah.
She was out here from town. She's a fiery in town.
Really?
She replaced me for the day.
Yeah, she was an out duty.
Wow.
Great shoes, trained up.
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah. She filled them well.
She cooked us dinner too.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thrilled to know that there's some women involved in the fire service nowadays.
Yeah, there is. There just doesn't seem to be. There's not that many over this way. I think it's the demographic. I just think there's not that many girls in the job that live out this way.
Yes.
I think that's it, really. I don't think there's any other reason for it, because there are a lot of girls in the job. You know, before I was here, I was in town, and there's heaps of girls in Metro East 1, which is the city region. There's heaps of girls in the headquarters, you know.
Yeah.
Some of them filter out the Crow's Nest and Lane Cove.
Yeah, but a lot of them are coast. Like a lot of them are on their way up north, you know. They're just in the transient stage.
So would they go through? Would a woman candidate go through the same recruitment procedure that a fellow does?
Yeah, they do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of they've changed a lot of the physical aptitude testing. I guess they've tailored it a bit more. You know, taken a bit more of the upper body strength component out of it because they weren't getting a lot of girls passing that.
Well,
component.
you wouldn't, no.
But the ones that came through with us definitely got in exactly the same.
Back in our day, they did.
Yeah. The ones that came through with us,
they either did what we did or they didn't get in.
Yeah.
You always got one chance, and that was it.
Yeah.
We had to hold cheers in front of you.
Yeah.
We had to hold
extended arms
for
a
minute or something.
Minute and a half.
So this borough going back about 20 years?
2000, 99, 98.
Yeah.
So that was how it used to be done.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to have good strength.
We used to have to foot the ladder and everything on our own. Like now, it's like dynabolted to the ground, and it's a lot different, a lot easier. There's no more.
I don't even think that's a component.
It's sort of simulation stuff now.
Yeah.
We used to have to put the 20-litre drum up on the roof of the Inter. Lift it up, put it on the roof.
Which is like another shoulder strength thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haul the
line up.
Pull it up over the top.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah, it's just a bit different to now. They've got like apparatus to do stuff, you know. Like they've designed and engineered different bits of like gym equipment, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the modernisation has taken.
And there's no. We used to do the beep test as well, you know, like that shuttle run.
Yeah.
That was the first thing you did, didn't you?
Like first stage of physical testing.
9.6.
They cut that out.
What's that, an actual run?
Well, yeah, they
like
have
a lactate test.
Yeah, they have a distance, so they I forget how far.
Is it
maybe
20
metres space.
And they set off a beep, and every time it beeps, you've got to turn, and it gets faster and faster and faster.
Oh.
And that's how that was part of the culling process, though, you know. But it wasn't difficult. It wasn't hard to attain. But they just got rid of it. Yeah.
So how do you keep physically fit nowadays? Do you all have a fitness regime?
You know?
Yeah, it's more our lifestyle. We all do
Take
stuff
care of
outside
yourself?
here as well. We might do something here on 1 or 2 days you're here, and
Yeah.
otherwise we do stuff. Some of us play touch on
Yeah.
days off. Some of us do even just activities like golf. You're still walking 6-7 k's.
Yeah.
You do mountain bike riding a lot in the job now. Mountain bike ride or road bike ride.
Yeah, good for your aerobic capacity.
Yeah.
A lot of us follow kids around footy parks and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
So we're often
He's at that stage. I'm at the other end of it now.
swimming.
Try to do stuff that's not going to expose you to off-duty injuries as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
You've got to be smart about it.
Like skiing.
Yeah.
That we all do.
But we've got a really good gym. Like the brigade supplies us with good equipment to keep fit. Like
So would most or all stations have an equipped
Pretty
gym?
well.
every
I
station.
don't know anyone that wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Treadmill, bike, weights. Yeah.
So you'd be doing
Free
that
weights, a
while
Smith
you're here
machine.
as well.
Yeah.
That's a good factor to have in your life anyway, regardless of your job, to keep your fitness up.
And diet as well. Like we all cook here, you know. Like
Yeah.
we're all pretty good with that. You know, we all maintain pretty.
Do you know about, is it, you know, when you have a marathon runner or someone and they do their carb loading beforehand,
Yeah.
do you follow anything like that?
No.
Just good healthy food?
Just graze over the day, you know.
You know what I read? Beetroot juice is very good for your muscles.
Love it.
Beetroot juice, yeah.
Just worries you when you pass it again.
Yeah, you look down in the toilet bowl and you go, oh dear.
Who's in the kitchen?
Hang on.
Got to go to the doctor.
I did read about that, and I did, because I had a lot of organic beetroot,
Yeah.
and
I
I
love
just
beetroot.
went, oh gee. And then I looked it up online and I went, okay, fine. Any glucosamine, chondroitin or fish oil, do you? Vitamin C for your...
Say fish oil's good for the memory. I should be on it.
Yeah.
I take vitamin
For your
B
muscles.
supplements, that's about it.
Yeah. B complex, good for stress.
Yeah. Magnesium.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeast.
Off duty.
Off duty, of course, yeah. So what is the system for having a beer or whatever? Is that just when you're off duty? And
Cooper's Red on your days off.
Do you have to not have any alcohol for a period of time before you're back on duty?
You don't want to turn up. You don't want to
Bit
turn
sozzled.
up. Yeah, because if something goes wrong and you get tested, then you're only sort of going to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, you may not be up to your optimum level.
You know yourself when you've had a big night out for a celebration or something.
Yeah, well, not lately, but in my younger days.
Even in your younger days, you
staggering
feel so
around.
stale and lethargic.
Yeah.
We don't have the affordability.
No, that's not your job, is
You
it?
can't drag yourself through 24 hours. It's not fair
No.
on anyone else.
Literally turn up and you'd be dragging your heels from the minute you get going. So really, if you have a beer with your dinner that night before, that's about as good as it gets.
It's a professional service now.
Yeah.
Gone past the days of what it used to be, but
different culture.
nothing worse than turning into a motor vehicle accident and you're leaning in to see what you've got to do, and then you'd have alcohol on your breath, and you think they go straight, what's going on here?
Don't touch me.
Step away. He's been drinking. You
Or if
just can't afford it. It's not
you know,
worth
like
it.
if you're driving,
Too much liability.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And you got no recourse. You
No.
know, you got nothing. It's your fault. You know.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So you got enough time off to have a few beers, or when you're
Oh,
on
yeah,
holidays.
yeah,
What do you
plenty.
get? 4 weeks holiday a year, something
Shift
like
work,
that.
because it's shift work. We work shift work. It works out to be 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So but that's just because it's broken
We're doing
up.
it
We get a
48
roster of
hours
hours.
in that week.
Yeah, we do a 48-hour week and not a 38 like most.
Yeah.
So it's spread out over 8 days opposed to a 7-day cycle.
Yeah.
And it works out to be six weeks a year, but then some years we might get 2 blocks of 4 where we'll get 8, and then the next year we'll only get 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So it still works out to be over that period.
So you have enough time to have a really good break.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
guaranteed.
And we do shift swaps.
We can change work for other people.
Yeah.
It's
like
very
for us.
Yeah.
We have very flexible rostering, and
that's tremendous.
That was probably with the advent of more girls coming to the job. That with girls going on maternity leave, it sort of tailored the alternative rostering. So now we've got fireys on rosters where they do 1 shift a week.
Yeah.
So we've got on our guy who works Saturdays. That's it. He lives up at Port Macquarie and he does his Saturday, comes down, does his 24 hours, and then goes. His wife works and he's got young kids, so
they split that as a family.
Yeah.
And he only
so she
does
works
one
Monday
day.
to Friday and he works Saturday.
Wow.
And then we've got job share.
System.
Yeah, we've got job share where two fireys will share the 2 shifts a week. You know, so one will work one, the other one will work one, or one will work 2 one week and the other one will work the next 2.
Yeah.
So you can propose it, your alternative roster to the brigade, and they're pretty good. You know, like they're quite.
If it's feasible for them, it's not incurring overtime. They'll let you do it.
It's that modern day award where they need to accommodate people's needs within their own family structure or life.
Yeah.
So in that respect, they really are like forward, I guess, in their you know the way they do that. You know, the way they structure to help, especially single dads or single mums, things like that, where they have issues with the kids, getting the kids looked after and things like that. There's another bloke that works when he does Wednesdays because he's a single dad, you know. So it's a really
very accommodating,
very positive.
I was going to say it's very good to accommodate
one
everyone's
of the bygone days when
life.
they just sort of said, toughen it out,
But
do something, you get around it, otherwise
exactly.
Push the box of
that's
tissues
good to
over.
know. Yeah.
The glass of water, a bit of cement, toughen up.
Yeah, those days are well and truly over. I think that's tremendous.
Modern day world with modern day awards and flexibility within workplaces.
Oh, well, let's have another song.
Yeah, no worries. This is The Saints with Ghost Ships.
And that was The Saints with Ghost Ships. And you're listening to Laughter and Enlightenment with Sharon Gambrill here at Radio Northern Beaches. And I am at the Narrabeen Fire Station with Murray, our station officer, Brad, Sean and Graeme, our Rescue Firefighters. And we're going to be winding up our interview at the Narrabeen Fire Station fairly soon. I just wanted to ask you all, fellas, what do you do in the way of de-stressing? Do you have any techniques you use to de-stress? Do they provide you with any ideas? Yeah? You talk things around, talk it out?
We have plenty of laughs.
Plenty of laughs.
Yeah.
Laughter is, I'm all about that.
We sort of joke a little bit to what...
Bit of black humour.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think...
Not in the public side.
The coloured humour, maybe?
Actually, that's wrong terminology. They'll take myself out of the room. See, it's on the table.
On the table, that's it.
But no, the table,
I think there's a lot of stuff that we
it's a way of venting.
We do, and like I would never do it outside of it, and we know what we get away with, you know, with each other.
Yeah.
But it's how we cope. It's our coping mechanism. If we don't make fun of stuff, like we'll go nuts, you know.
Yeah.
We've got Brad, you know.
And we can only pick on him so much. Because he keeps ringing Dad.
Brad's our newest member, and he cops a lot of flack.
Good on him.
Yeah, look,
he loves it. Look, he's happy.
It's like our apprentice. He's obviously a lot more informed.
It's like starting all over.
It's
again.
like
the job site with a young kid.
We use certain terminology
builder.
on this shift, which we won't repeat, but it's just like a sign of endearment.
Yeah.
It's just you're accepted once you're called, that sort of thing.
It's all part of. I think the modern day side of it, joking around. Back in the past, there was physical things, whether it's in the building industry or other industries.
Initiations.
Whereas now. There's a lot of jovial that makes up for that.
Yeah.
The physical side of things, so we all have a good laugh and poke ribs at each other.
Do you bring funny movies in and watch them and have a movie night?
We have in the past.
VCRs.
It was the VHS. No, it was actually we got the
VHS.
No, it might have been a disc. come up the plateau. We got it up there. The lady just looked at me when I asked for it. She goes, what do you want to watch that for? I said, I've got the boys that told me I've got to get it at the station. And she just sort of looked at me when she handed it to me. Nothing. It's just one of those far left side sort of movies. So
yeah.
I'd say what it was.
Bit of mischief. That's all right.
But yeah, we just try and keep everything, if anyone's having a rough time, we just try and sort them out,
Do you have a psychological checklist to make sure everyone's doing well?
Yeah, pretty good.
With your mental health and your emotional health.
We go to fatalities, they're straight
Death
away.
the other day. They were ringing. We had three or four phone calls from people outside the station checking on us and
which is
asking about it, how you're feeling, and what you see. Was there anything that you feel bad about, or how's your health?
Yeah.
Are you coping? Yeah, you're coping all right.
Yeah.
Barney to talk about anything, and so that was the first time, and all the deaths we've had over the years. It was probably one of the first times,
really flooded.
You're getting checked up on and supported if you need it.
Oh, there you go.
Here's an install right now. This is us.
Oh my goodness! Well, we're just about to finish, so we have to go.
Listen.
Wow!
You listen to this, you'll hear the call.
It'll tell us what it is.
So we'll just.
It might be the rescue. So this is what wakes us up.
Wow, this is very exciting.
Normally it was a bell.
Oh my gosh! I'll get my bag and get. Okay. Now, as you just heard, Murray, Brad, Sean and Graeme had to suddenly leave the fire station in their fire truck to go to a special job, and I wasn't able to formally thank them for being on the show, so I'd like to do that now. Thank you to Murray, the station officer, Brad, Sean and Graeme, Rescue Firefighters at Narrabeen Fire Station, for being on Laughter and Enlightenment this week. I wish you all the very best, and one of them asked me to play one of his favourite songs, which I will do now as a tribute to the men and women who are firefighters all around Australia, and the ones in particular at Narrabeen. This is Talking Heads with Burning Down the House. And that was Burning Down the House with Talking Heads. So thank you very much again to Murray, Brad, Sean and Graeme from the Narrabeen Fire Station for their time this week. Laughter and Enlightenment will return next Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m, here at Radio Northern Beaches, 88.7 or 90.3 FM, or you can live stream through the website at rnb.org.au or through the app TuneIn Radio. Until next Thursday, this is Sharon Gambrill saying have a happy, healthy and laughing week.